Dave Anthony, Fox News. Santa Ana winds will be whipped up again to near hurricane-force gusts.
It's so dry because of these winds that the brush or fuel, if an ember lands on it, has a 65% of ignition. So we're chasing fires.
LA Fire Captain Eric Scott. 3 wildfires still burned, 2 barely contained. Connor Henson with Fox Edge is out in burned out Pacific Palisades.
Right now they're concerned about Brentwood. That's another highly populated area. The Mandeville areas where we're seeing lots of airdrops, water, different fire retardant being dropped there to kind of create a barrier. But of course, the big concern is strong winds coming back later today and getting even worse tomorrow.
Well, the fires are blamed for at least 24 deaths, with more people unaccounted for. More than 12,000 houses and buildings have burned. Jake Steinfeld of Body by Jake tells Fox.
I lost my home. It's the strangest thing to even talk about. But we are going to rebuild.
The earth just quaked in southwest Japan, a magnitude 6.9 ground shaking. No word yet on damage. There is a tsunami warning. President-elect Trump returns to the White House in a week, and he's warned if there's no peace deal to stop the war in Gaza, he'll unleash hell. Now there are reports of ceasefire progress in talks that include
Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, who joined talks in recent days. It's reported delegates from Qatar are pushing Hamas to make a deal. Witkoff said to be putting pressure on the Israelis. Fighting in Gaza has been going on for 15 months, and Hamas still holds 98 Israeli hostages, 36 of whom have been declared dead.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Biden remains involved. He talked to Israel's prime minister yesterday. This afternoon, he'll give a speech touting his foreign policy. A rocket did not launch this morning as planned at Cape Canaveral in Florida. Blue Origin had to postpone its first unmanned test flight after a technical problem, a setback for Jeff Bezos' company trying to compete with SpaceX. America's listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Just ahead of the Trump White House return, the Senate is getting ready to start confirmation hearings for his nominees.
Former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins, Trump's choice to head Veterans Affairs, is up first tomorrow morning. Then comes Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, who will be appearing before the Armed Services Committee. Democrats on the panel have expressed concerns about the sexual assault and financial mismanagement allegations against Hegseth, which Hegseth has denied.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. More Trump cabinet nominees have hearings Wednesday. Shots fired in Washington, D.C., where 3 police officers were wounded and hospitalized, though all are said to be conscious. The same can't be said for the gunman who opened fire on them, and that suspect's dead. In North Carolina, a sheriff's deputy is lucky to be alive thanks to a father and son hailed as heroes.
Cleveland County, North Carolina deputy Robert Taylor was in a car pursuing several armed robbery suspects in a high-speed chase when the cruiser lost control, crashed into a tree, and burst into flames. Curtis Blanton and his 17-year-old son happened to be listening to the police scanner when they got word of the fiery crash and rushed to the scene to try to help. The Blantons were able to pull Taylor from the burning vehicle to safety, along with his canine, Thanos. Taylor was badly injured but is expected to survive. The sheriff's office says it plans to honor the father and son for their heroism. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
On Wall Street, futures are down, so stocks could drop, adding to Friday's big sell-off. In the NFL playoffs, a dramatic ending last night. Washington beat Tampa Bay on a last-second field goal on NBC. The Commanders' first playoff win since 2006, led by rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels.
It means a lot, man. You can just see all the fans over here, man. They're waiting for us. They waited a long time for this moment and this feeling, so I'm just so happy for them.
Earlier, the Philadelphia Eagles advanced, beating Green Bay 22-10. Buffalo beat Denver 31-7. Tonight, the last wild card game moved out of Los Angeles because of the wildfires. The LA Rams will play Minnesota and Arizona. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Michael Madigan attempting to clear his name by taking the stand at his racketeering trial. During his second day of testimony, the former Illinois House Speaker distanced himself from co-defendant Michael McLean and former Chicago Alderman Danny Solis, who secretly recorded Madigan for the FBI. Illinois lawmakers beginning a new 2-year term. A new Illinois General Assembly sworn into separate ceremonies for the House and Senate. The inauguration ceremonies follow a tension-filled lame duck session, which saw the governor clash with members of his own party. Soon a bill that would take guns out of the hands of accused domestic abusers in Illinois. The State House passed Karina's bill this week, sending the measure to the governor's desk. The measure would require law enforcement to confiscate guns within 96 hours from people who have an order of protection granted against them. The law is named after Karina Gonzalez. The Chicago woman and her teen daughter shot and killed by her husband in 2023. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Good morning. It's Monday. This is January 13. I'm watching Fox News. Griff Jenkins doing a live. He's going to call us here in a minute. It's just a bunch of nothing out there. I mean, it's 506.
40,000 acres, Stevie.
No, I mean, you're talking 15,000, 20,000 homes and structures for you. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's devastation and then some.
Well, they're going to have to figure out how to get through this. The winds have whipped up. They're talking about it now bouncing to maybe Brentwood, which is 2 miles from the UCLA campus in Westwood. And it is a catastrophe that does not have an ending at this moment. At this moment, God knows how many died. They can't even identify people. So 24 is the count this morning. All right, it's our buddy, Mr. Greg, meteorologist. We haven't talked to you in a while because I was on my back for a few days.
Yeah, I hope you're doing better.
Fine, man. I'm
Good.
back, baby.
You sound better.
Yeah, I feel better. Weather this morning brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking to increase their healthcare team. If you're interested in a career and opportunities for growth, head to carl.org/careers.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier. We'll look at our week ahead. We are just about halfway through January, sir.
Yeah, we certainly are. And, here comes the cold air after a nice reprieve and temperatures that popped briefly into the 30s around here yesterday. And the weather maps and charts as they apply to Southern California, there's a little circulation that may turn the winds briefly onshore later on this week. And then once again, we dig the jet stream from the western Canadian prairie down the Canadian and U.S. Rockies. We slingshot it through the Rio Grande Valley, and that puts high pressure at Salt Lake City. And the flow is clockwise and offshore again, so we may be right back into this stuff out there through Southern California at some point in the weekend, early next week as well. So by no means is this issue with Santa Ana winds, downslope conditions. There's no rain in the forecast of significance whatsoever out there, and they haven't had any organized rain, I think, since mid-May, if I looked at it right. Not even a quarter inch out there in L.A., so that will be an ongoing headline here for the foreseeable future. But back this way, a cold morning, and kind of get used to it. We'll get another little uptick here later this week, and the bottom drops out again. A couple of weak disturbances that will generate a little snowfall from time to time. No big winder-uppers expected across the area. 9 now over at Willard Savoy, 10 at Rantoul, and the breeze out of the west now at about 12 miles an hour has a wind chill at 7 below. So a cold day's worth of weather today, but the sun will be out, and the afternoon temperature struggle at 18, down tonight to 9 with increasing clouds. The little clipper system may bring one of those fluffed up low moisture content, icy crystalline 1-inch snows across here tomorrow morning. Probably some travel issues in the morning with a high up near 19 and a partly sunny afternoon. Then we'll be down near and below 0 tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, cold 17 Wednesday, but we pop to 31 on Thursday, 38 Friday. A couple of snow flurries, then over to a bit of rain late Friday. Then bottom drops out again, falling temperatures, a little rain snow mix Saturday, a couple of snow showers and flurries Sunday. And by Sunday afternoon into Monday, daytime highs only in the teens again. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
One of America's finest journalists is on call at 5:09 Pacific time, where he is trying to paint the picture of, with cameras, this is now radio, paint the picture of the devastation. Griff, you've been around. Griff Jenkins, the great Griff Jenkins, you've been around. Tell me the last time you've seen anything what you're seeing now in L.A.
Hey, Stevie J, it's great to be with you and your great listeners. And, listen, the destruction that I've been showing and seeing here in Malibu, where we are this morning, and in Pacific Palisades yesterday, simply looks like bombed-out buildings that I've seen in Iraq and in Kyiv, Ukraine. The destruction just literally looks like a bomb went off. And it is, the California natives that you talk to here, the firefighters, the residents all say, we're used to fires. They joke on the West Coast, they have two seasons, the fires and the mudslides, but they've never seen, many of them in their lifetimes, this kind of destruction so widespread and so dangerous with these winds. The fire captain I was interviewing yesterday said these 100-mile-an-hour winds, they haven't seen them since 2011. And even in 2011, it was more of a wind event with down trees and down poles and that sort of stuff, and it didn't come with the fires that they're seeing now. And then, the craziest part about it, CVJ, is that they're under this red flag warning from the National Weather Service for the particularly dangerous situation. They call it the PDS, and that is the National Weather Service's highest possible alert intended to invoke the highest level of urgency among the population, because they're expecting some 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds, upwards of 70-mile-an-hour plus gusts in the next 48 hours through Wednesday night, and it's mixed with relatively low humidity from 8% to 15% in some areas. And when you have that combination of dry air, low humidity mixed with high winds with widespread embers all over the place, as we've been reporting on, you're looking literally at a recipe for disaster. The fire captain telling me, look, if one little ember picks up in those kind of winds, it can blow 1-2 miles down the way and pick up some brush that hasn't yet been affected, and that has a 65% chance of igniting. And so they're really bracing here. They're on high alert, and you've got crews, firefighters working around the clock 24/7 trying to contain as much as they can. Meanwhile, that Palisade fire, that's the big one that burned so much of Pacific Palisades in Malibu, that's only 13% contained. It's already destroyed 23,000 plus acres, which, that is a vast amount of land. That is roughly more than 25 times the size of Central Park in New York. And right now, you've got 150,000 people evacuated or displaced. So a lot of people in Southern California already out of their homes, with more evacuations potentially coming as these winds expecting to pick up today and go for the next 48 hours.
I mean, Griff, I guess I work it the other way. How does this ever stop?
Well, it stops, I suppose, when the winds, the Santa Ana winds, give them a break and they can get the containment down. But, this is no doubt a scary time for Los Angelinos and people in the surrounding area, because in this case, you just had a perfect storm, if you will, of these dry, hasn't rained here very much for much of the past year, and low humidity, dry air, and then just only takes a spark. And it's interesting, too, we've been watching the firemen going on foot up into the canyons, particularly right now. They're watching basically where I was, so we're in Malibu, right? The Palisade Fire came over and burned everything in its path till it met the Pacific Ocean. But then you go inland and you go northeast of where Pacific Palisades is, where we were showing the worst of the damage. That is this Mandeville Canyon area, which has high elevation, and it buttresses up against the 405 highway in the very famous Brentwood neighborhood. And so they're bracing for fear that something could blow that way, pick up, start a fire. And if that happens and gets in, Brentwood or another densely populated area, they're going to have a whole new situation on their hands. They've got some 12,000 plus firefighters here from 7 different states, and that's a good thing to have all hands on deck. But the fire captain, Eric Scott, told me yesterday, he said, honestly, there's a lot of finger pointing and arguing about, resources, and there was, of course, the water shortage in some areas, and that's going to be sorted out, and that's for the politicians to deal with. But at the end of the day, in all reality, even when last week's 100-mile-an-hour winds hit, if we'd had 1,000 more fire trucks, they still probably couldn't have stopped it.
Well, I know there's going to be a lot of discussion and study after all this thing's over because people are saying, man, you need to manage this better. You need to do X, Y, Z. We'll have time for all that because maybe a lot of that is true. There's so many things to sort out. But, I mean, I don't understand why they don't manage their forests in California.
Yeah, listen, that fallout, the political fallout that is yet to really come is going to be pretty brutal. It's apparent when you read particularly the local press out here in the question with, county supervisors and city councilmen and women that are very critical of the response and the preparation. I mean, we know just on the, basic 30,000, foot view, you learn that the mayor cut the fire resources $17 million. It's like, okay, well, in hindsight of this, does that seem like a bad idea? That's the kind of stuff that's going to be talked about.
Yeah, and getting the water and getting resources more readily available and planning a little bit better. And I understand the extremity of 100-mile-an-hour winds. But man, oh man, these guys are going to be. I think Governor Newsom, I believe Karen Bass, they're going to be in some political hot water when people start figuring out that they might not be able to rebuild. I know that there's been a disaster potentially with insurances dropping fire coverage a couple of months ago or a year ago. Is that true?
Bingo. You're putting your finger on an important story. And setting aside the battle with insurance companies, it's interesting as we watch the governor issuing this executive order to help people to cut red tape and help people rebuild quickly. People here in particularly Malibu, they say, we're not necessarily, we hear you, but we'll believe it when we see it, because even though those promises are there, in places like Malibu, when all of those homes were built on the water's edge, those many people here are telling me that those sort of permits could never get issued again. And that's a big problem, because if you can't rebuild on your place, where are you going to go? So there's a lot of skepticism, if you will, about that rebuild in certain areas, particularly in Malibu, that's actually going to happen when all of this is said and done, despite promises of providing money in a red tape cutting effort through regulations. This is California, man.
Yeah,
they have one of the toughest restrictions.
Yep. Griff, you're the best. We always appreciate hearing from you. You always have the stuff, man, and you've delivered again. Man, good stuff.
Hey, thank you, and I will tell our listeners, you'll have to post maybe on social media. I sent you video of Ryan O'Neal and Farrah Fawcett's home that they shared in Malibu. Now, nothing but rubble.
Unbelievable. Right. Thank you for sending, bud. Keep up your great work, Griff. Always a pleasure.
Stevie J, Diane, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You as well. That's Griff Jenkins, live Fox News. He was just on the TV, now on with us.
Yeah,
Weather this morning brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you their photo contest is coming your way. We have some submissions you can get and be on display at Lincoln Square, urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you. Central Illinois, Champaign, Van Amphis, Saturday. Nice respite in the cold yesterday, but plenty of cold building, ebbing and flowing for this week. And it's a cold wave weather pattern shaping up over the back end of the weekend, much of next week too. Mostly sunny, sharply colder for the day today with a brisk west wind, high around 18. That west wind at 12 to 20 and gusty. Increasing clouds tonight, colder at 9. Diminishing west wind tomorrow. A little clipper system brings some snow in the morning. Accumulations up to around an inch and probably some slippery travel. Then a partly sunny, cold afternoon, 19 and dropping to 0 to 5 below here for tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, cold for the day. Wednesday at 17. We'll bump up to 31 on Thursday with a couple of snow flurries. A little rain back in late Friday at 38. Little rain and snow Saturday morning, snow in the afternoon. High temperature up around 30 and dropping. And colder weather with a couple of snow showers and flurries. High temperatures in the teens. Sunday and Monday overnight readings down into the single digits to near 0. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Peter Chus, Greg Solier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street analysts were already skeptical that the Federal Reserve would cut interest rates this month. The next meeting is January 28th and 29th. After Friday's strong December employment report, a cut this month is now considered highly unlikely. Fed officials began cutting rates last September because of signs the job market was cooling along with inflation. Since then, there hasn't been much progress on inflation, and the job market's holding up. There's a merger in the medical field. Johnson & Johnson is buying biotech company Intracellular for $14.6 billion. BMW says its sales fell slightly last year, down 4%. It was impacted by technical issues and subdued demand in China. It also makes Mini and Rolls-Royce models. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Holiday hangover got you feeling weighted down. We're not talking candy, pie, and eggnog-induced pounds. We're talking about the clutter chaos. Old furniture, tank of lights, and junk galore. Time to detox your space with 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Ditch the junk and start fresh. Head to 2menjt.com and schedule your junk removal today. Use code NEWYEAR25 and score $25 off your next junk removal. Offer valid at 2 Men in a Junk Truck, Champaign, Illinois.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
All right, here we are. Monday. It is January 13. ESPN 93.5. The grandfather and grandmother watch is still on for our family.
Okay, I think the due date was the 11th,
yep,
right?
Due date was Saturday for Nathaniel and Allison, and Did You Know, and our feature on Thursdays with Nathaniel's son.
And for my family, we hosted a big baby shower, and so great to have so many relatives around and friends supporting my brother Gary's son Luke and his wife Carolyn as they're in the zone inside the next month.
That's coming up.
Yes.
All right, so we'll let you know I'm going to bolt to Chicago when it happens for probably not very long, but I do want to see through the glass kind of thing, whatever I can do to see the next generation.
Face pressed up against the glass.
A little bit of that. So anyway, it's kind of on the Nathaniel Allison watch, but I don't know what it's like to be a grandfather. I have no idea. And I've asked people, and they said it's wonderful, but I don't know what they mean. So I'll have to wait and see what that's like.
You just never know. I mean, in the Ducey family, we had our family growing December 30th instead of the due date of December 16th when Sebastian Rhodes Kent came into the world.
And that's Mary Jean's?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's great to have your family grow. I just wouldn't know what it's like. I mean, I've asked people that are experienced grandmothers and grandfathers. They just rave about it. but I don't know.
But you're a wonderful great uncle.
I am indeed.
To what, 7 or 8? With
a great uncle or uncle?
You're a great uncle because, like, Johnny's kids are your nieces and nephews. So now you're great.
But they're my uncle. I'm their uncle.
You're the uncle.
I'm
You're
Uncle
the great.
Matthew, and then I'm a great uncle because his kids.
That's right.
So the great grandkids are my great nephews and nieces.
Absolutely. My nephew, Austin, for instance, who's at Deuce Construction running things under Michael, his daughter, Grace, comes up when I DJ the daddy-daughter dance, which, by the way, is a month away at St. Thomas More, in case you want to get in on that. And she says, it's great. And Diane.
Okay, I got you.
I like
Another
it.
generation. Time does fly, folks. Gets away from you. 7:26. We have a Stever, first of the year. It is the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. I'm handing out $50 bills if you'd like to go get a filet mignon or ribeye or whatever kind of steak you like.
So good during the break. I know I had experienced that at least twice with my family and the New Year's Eve with the steak and lobster choice that was special for bringing in 2025. Donnie, Hunter, the whole team does such a great job in downtown Gifford.
It is up and available at GoStever.com. If you're not a member, you don't know why. We hand out stuff and money and valuable things. $50 to the Long Branch is available at GoStever.com. You can join, and you can enter the same kind of motion, so you'll have a shot. You'll get an email after 8 tonight if you're one of our winners, and then you'll go to Gifford in the next 7 to 10 days or so.
And you can negotiate with Donnie if you want the restaurant to open up on his off days to host a party. I remember back in the day, Deuce Construction had an employee appreciation party in the first quarter of the year when it wasn't as busy in the construction business instead of a holiday party. Now, Stevie J Broadcasting did our holiday party there, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, we love doing it there.
Oh, my
People seem to
goodness.
enjoy it.
I
The
was
food is
so
always
full.
so good. Yeah, it's hard not to leave there really full. Anyway, it's Go Stever, $50 bills at Long Branch. Good luck to you. If you want to text in this morning, it's available at 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line. You know anybody in Los Angeles? You know anybody going through all this, what they're going through? Unbelievable. It is devastation they've never seen. Not to this level. And the fact that the Santa Ana winds are going to 50 miles an hour till Wednesday night means fire can jump some more. And they're going to have to get over their saving the smelt fish and figuring out environmental versus saving people and houses. This is, I think, when you get to the post-analysis, you're going to see that this has been mismanaged for a very, very long time. People are outraged there out on the West Coast. They wanted social equality and DEI and everything. Well, they're getting it, but what they're not getting is satisfaction with good government. And they're going to have to figure it out or they'll continue to get bad government.
Well, speaking of people's opinion, Stephen had mentioned the stuff about the insurance that you mentioned when Griff Jenkins was on.
What did he say?
I mean, as far as $17 million of $800 million, State Farm cut 75,000 insurance policies the last year on.
Well, wouldn't you?
I know.
If you're the insurance company, why would you blame insurance if you're in a range in a region and they have a situation that's a tinderbox and it's going to explode? Do you want to insure that and cover that? No, it's just business. Insurance companies, aren't necessarily rushing to give you money. They're going to give you money if they owe you money on a claim. And the good ones are always there for you. That's great. That's what it's supposed to be. But it's all on an actuary thing. If you're going to die, they're not going to give you a lot of life insurance. No offense. It's business. So if you're in a range where it's been, devastatingly high winds in Santa Ana and nothing's been taken care of in the forest and it's going to explode and you can't stop it, you want to insure all that? I don't know what you do if they did not get insurance. I don't know if there's a state-sponsored something that I heard about that maybe they got some coverage from that. Or what if you're in California, steeped in red tape? It's just awful to try and build a house anyway.
Yeah.
Permits take forever. They had some celebrity doing a watch. It was 1,000 days so they can get any permits.
Yeah.
That's 3 years?
Wow.
So if you're trying to think about 15,000, 25,000 structures that have been destroyed, how's that going to work?
Mm-hmm.
How's that permitting going to go? Are you ever going to get your permit on the cliff again? Oh, it's not safe. How about building a pool? Well, they want it double hull. That'll be like a ship. The expense on a swimming pool is going to be $500,000 if you double hull the base. Wow. They don't want it seeping into the environment. It can't be true that Oregon sent 65 fire trucks that got stopped in Sacramento to check emissions tests.
What?
That can't be true. Please look that up.
Okay.
There's no way that 65 fire trucks came down from Oregon only get stopped in the state capitol because they might not pass the emission tests. That would just be the irony of irony, wouldn't it? Okay, but we must continue to pray and hope that things get better for our friends in California, because whatever situation they're in, or the reason they're in it, is still pretty devastating when you go home and you don't have a home anymore and you lost every single thing. Be right back. News coming up, 217-359-2255. You can text us, and we'll be back after the news. It is 7:30.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa Cruz. Recently contained 3 wildfires in Southern California. At least 24 people are dead, 16 other people reported missing. Fox's Connor Hansen is in Pacific Palisades.
Right now, they're concerned about Brentwood. That's another highly populated area. The Mandeville areas where we're seeing lots of airdrops, water, different fire retardant being dropped there to kind of create a barrier. The big concern is strong winds coming back.
Red flag warnings are in effect.
We have wind gusts in excess of 50, even 70 miles per hour coming later this afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow.
It's Fox's senior meteorologist Janice Dean. Today marks 1 week until Inauguration Day, when President Trump becomes the 47th president. Magnitude 6.9 earthquake strikes the Kyushu, Japan region, its 3rd largest, most southerly island. Now there's a tsunami warning. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Office of Illinois Secretary of State revealing the list of rejected personalized license plates in 2024. More than 300 vanity and personalized license plates were shot down after being deemed too obscene or defamatory. Illinois vehicle owners pay an extra for a new vanity or personalized plate. Officials in Savoy will decide whether or not the village will give almost $1 million in tax incentives to a car dealer. The Village of Savoy's Board of Trustees will be voting to approve $950,000 for a building project at Sarah Champagne Auto Dealership. New building will be behind Sarah Subaru and raise the number of mechanical bays from 8 to 20. One man's trash and other animals treasure at Aikman Wildlife Adventure in Arcola. About 10 donated Christmas trees keeping the season of giving alive. Former holiday centerpieces, now the newest toys for select animals. Some eat the trees while others just like the smell. But the one thing is true for all of them, they just can't get enough. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Check of our weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, outdoor living. Visit kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and vicinity. Nice to have those temperatures pop into the 30s for a time yesterday. Back into increasingly cold weather for this week. Into the weekend, much of next week as well. And probably a cold wave weather pattern shaping up for parts of the Corn Belt and some increasing snowfall as well. In the meantime, quiet but cold days worth of weather. Brisk westerly wind, high around 18 with sunshine. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, lows near 9. Diminishing west wind. Tomorrow turns even colder in the afternoon, around 19 with a partly sunny sky and dropping, but the morning has some snow showers and flurries up to an inch of accumulation and probably some slippery travel. Turns fair tomorrow night and bitter cold, lows 0 to 5 below. Mostly sunny cold at 17 on Wednesday. We pop into the 30s Thursday and Friday. A few flurries on Thursday, little rain late Friday, some rain and snow Saturday morning, snow in the afternoon. Temperature up around 30 and dropping. Then cold weather for the Sunday and Monday time frame. A couple of snow showers and flurries, highs only in the teens. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, it is 7:34. What would you do with people that looted in California, which is going on? I mean, what is there to loot?
How does that look? Do you approach where the fire line is and then you say, okay, these houses are going down, so I'm going to load up my van and leave the fire area?
Well, one guy was sitting on the curb in fire uniform, and he was being arrested because he was in a fake uniform. He was looting. What do you do with that guy?
Right.
What do you want to do with that guy?
Oh, God.
I mean, it's just you have it for most of the pictures I've seen. There's just nothing. It's like a bomb. A bomb went off. You're landing in an airport in Orlando, and you see all this. That guy has a pool, and that guy has a pool. You can see all that. It's just all gone. It's not like, oh, look at that tree. No, it's gone. You have a little concrete that's in shambles, but the heat of these fires I don't know, what is it, 5 or 10,000? The degree in the sun is 10,000. For these things to sweep and just destroy so quickly, it has to be over 5,000 degrees. So I don't know. Looting is just, I don't know. I don't know any humans like that. I don't know anybody like that. I guess they're there, but what are you thinking? I mean, I guess you're thinking, if I don't eat, my family won't eat, and I got to steal. I don't know. There's no excuse for taking advantage of such tragedy.
So you brought up California is not stopping Oregon fire trucks for emission testing, officials say, but they talk about the rumors of that happening. It seems like in this long statement that was put out by one of the TV stations in Oregon, the Fox affiliate, that the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection was just recognizing heavy-duty vehicles and enduring extensive travel, sometimes with worn out or out of specification components. So they're committed to ensuring safety before deployment on the front line.
You're losing your state, and you're checking mechanicals. You don't trust Oregon to be okay on mechanicals driving down the coast. Get them in service. This is urgent.
It says towards the end, no engine was turned away, and they all completed a safety track.
Everybody called to duty. Can't you just trust the Oregon firefighters to say we're good? We checked our engines.
That's right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
15 teams arrived on Thursday to begin their 24-hour shift on Friday.
Well, what do you do if you don't have water? The reservoirs are dry. The fire hydrants are dry.
And how much truth is all that? Or was there a picture from like a few months ago?
Officials have admitted the shortness in their reservoir. They're dumping water in the Pacific Ocean. What did Governor Newsom, took down 5 dams or something to save a fish? It's all going to come out, and he'll deny it, and you'll be able to see the facts. But I think people are, particularly the Californians, they kind of know what's been happening. They just didn't think it was this big of a deal. Well, how about now? I think you're going to have to figure out how to manage your stuff better, and why you not manage cleaning the forest a little bit and separating by miles some cutaways so the thing can't jump as easily.
Around my dinner table, we were talking about using ocean water to put out some of these fires.
Well, they have these airplanes that go down and scoop up water and come and dump that on there.
Okay.
But that was hit by a drone. There are 48 different drones up in the air.
Right.
People are flying their drones, and this one airplane was damaged and had to land, couldn't use that. So there is all that, but who's going to be able to sort all that out right now? Who has a drone up right now? Nobody has any clue. And how do you tell when a fire was started intentionally? Fire investigators, how do you tell? When you're talking about nothing left but rubble and black, how do you possibly go back and see kerosene on a blanket? How do you know they started it? No idea. The fire investigation and the stuff that they're able to do and tell now is amazing, but I don't know what it is.
Well, and so much comments about the whole political aspect of all of this with the Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and, President-elect Donald Trump and then California Governor Gavin Newsom. Is this a political, are they trying to get some kind of political advantage
or are they really bad at what they're doing? You have to determine. And maybe not this minute. You have to put the fires out. Karen Bass is a Marxist. She was trained by Fidel Castro's people way back in the day when she visited Cuba half of her life. That's what they voted for. If that's the kind of leadership you want Marxism, communism, LA's got it going on. But if you want management of the resources and people to take care of you, the tax dollars are supposed to go and spend appropriately, I think you got the wrong people. Now, Gavin Newsom is just going to have some explaining to do what happened when President Trump went through about a year of getting him all the water he wanted back in his first term when 100 people died in the blazes, 100. And he was all for it. Yes, let's get more water. And then when finally somehow President Trump got it all through, went through the Commerce Department of all places, called up Gavin Newsom, said, here's your water, all you want. He says, I don't want it. Somebody do some fact checking on that. Why wouldn't you want all that water? Well, it's an environmental thing. We don't want to do that because of the smelt type of fish. I don't know. It'll all get sorted out, but I know one thing: the people on the ground in LA are pretty unhappy, very unhappy. And Karen Bass was just clueless. Did you hear at the press conference? It made Kamala Harris look like a genius. Karen Bass was just dumbfounded. Well, what we want to do is save lives and save people. There'll be time to investigate all this. Well, what about this? Well, there'll be time, after it's all over, we want to save lives and save houses, and it'll all be investigated. And she kept repeating the same thing.
Okay, but, this isn't a common thing.
You're the mayor of L.A.
Know,
this is common. Wildfires.
So bad when people brain burp on the mic.
They're not prepared for this kind of thing.
Right.
And it just isn't the philosophy I believe in, obviously. We'll see what happens if people of Los Angeles can re-elect Karen Bass, but I'm hearing people wanting to recall. In California, you can recall your politician of choice.
And it depends on what news source you're hitting. I guess Newsom is blasting President-elect Donald Trump and
Governor
his response,
Newsom,
and he'll say mis and disinformation.
We'll see, because that's a common thing we've grown to accept. Not anymore. Mm-hmm. The game changed November 5. People know what BS is. And we'll see if Governor Newsom can survive what's going to happen in political backlash when they figure out what happened. And you can lie your way through a lot, but there are facts. There aren't facts getting away.
And this is talking about the water flow from Northern Carolina to California to Southern California.
Well, it's all environmentally connected, and I think they've done a poor job because other countries have dealt with forests. They know how to clean them out. They know how to separate, and they don't have this kind of thing. Why? Just have to do some fact checking, and we'll see what happens when it's all said and done. The bottom line is there's some very frustrated people, and good luck again. When you're in a big-time Democratic state, there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of things they do for your safety because they know better, and all these regulations to go and get your house rebuilt. We'll see how that goes, because I don't think it's going to go very well. Governor Newsom was talking about expediting these permits. He says in 120 days, it's 120 days. What the heck? Why would it take 120 days? 217-359-2255 if you want to jump on.
At StevieJay.com, and you can always go to StevieJay.FM on X and follow our
live stream.
Live stream of the broadcast.
That's where we are now. We're not going to be censored there, and very comfortable about that. And I paid Elon Musk $167 a year to stream. Facebook wanted $2,300 to stream and be censored. Mm-hmm. By the way, what's the kid's name? Zuckerberg?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to stop their censoring.
Okay. Right.
That's called too little, too late, Mark. Thank you, though.
Why you wanna?
I've waited 42 minutes to mention the Illini.
Yes. Darn it.
What happened last year? What did the Illini do last year? Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
Yeah. And we were happy.
There's going to be some misses along the way.
But were we happy with the season?
Yeah.
We lost 9 times last year. This is our 4th loss.
Right.
So it's like you don't have a lottery pick on your team for the first time in the history of Illinois. We have a lottery pick. A 5th pick is what he's projected. Kasper Yaka-Jonas. So we don't have him playing.
Right.
Oh, we beat Penn State. Yeah, but we didn't beat USC. We looked like we were playing at 11 a.m. I'm sorry, biorhythms, whatever.
Yep.
The last 5 home games we played, Derek Piper posted that. Last 5 11 a.m. home games have been awful.
That's what Johnny had said, too, on these 11 a.m. games for all of the athletes.
Bottom line is they were flat. They didn't have it. Coach Underwood noticed it at the shoot-around, went home and told Susan, doesn't look very good.
Uh-oh.
And you just can't do it. You can't tell these guys how good USC is.
I know.
Nobody's going to believe you. Anyway, it was tough. It was rough because we haven't seen that this year. It was like molasses. It just wasn't happening. I watched it for 10 minutes. I said, this isn't going to go well because it's one of those grinds and we're missing our best guy. So hopefully he comes back. The bottom line is he was all taped up. If it's like a tendonitis in your forearm, that doesn't get better next week. It takes months. And so if he can't play through it, then I don't know. And nobody said when he's coming back, but if he's not back this week, we really, really need him this week. At Indiana and at Michigan State.
Yes.
It's a fine basketball team who had a bad game. And it was a triple, what do they call it? The quad 3 loss. Oh. The guy that does the brackets, not that you'll want to know.
Palm?
No. Joe Lenardi.
Oh.
He came out an hour before tip-off on Saturday and said Illinois just could be a number 1. And then that happened.
Don't jinx it like that.
Anyway,
why did he do that?
He thought Illinois could be a 1. Well, it's not that we can't be, but we're going to have to win a lot of ball games to lose a game in a quad 3 loss. A quad 3 loss is like a cement block.
Darn it.
It's really going to hurt.
Okay.
And I don't know if they can say, well, their best guy didn't play. Yeah, you lost. That's what they look at.
Right.
So listen, this is a great basketball team. It really is. So we just got to shake it off and come back tomorrow night and play well. But keep in mind, Indiana and Michigan State are looking at me chomping at the bit because we're one of the few teams that they can gain net score by beating.
Yes.
But it's just we got to have Kasparov to be obviously our best. So everybody knows that. And hey, we just shake it off and move on. You had a bad one. Next. Doesn't matter till March anyway, people. We know that. Doesn't matter till March. 7:45, because we had some losses last year we were very upset with. Ended up pretty well. We just ran into the national champion in UConn. It was the Elite Eight game.
That's right.
All right, 7:46. A few more sports headlines now with Diane Ducey.
Well, just kind of wrap up the thought of Ben Humrickhouse had 15 to lead the team. USC over number 13 Illinois 82-72, and next up Indiana at 6 over in Bloomington, and then we play at Michigan State on Sunday. Last night we had number 15 Oregon over Penn State 82-81 in a tight one. Number 16 Michigan State took down Northwestern 78-68. Number 24 Michigan over Washington 91-75. Number 20 Purdue over Nebraska 104-68. Let's pivot now to the college football playoffs. Did you watch any of the Ohio State win over Texas 28-14?
I thought both semifinal games were outstanding. Really did. Notre Dame pulled it out.
Right, 27-24 over Penn State. What was that on Thursday then?
And then Friday night, Ohio State, Buckeyes are coming downfield trying to tie it. I'm sorry, it was Texas coming downfield trying to tie it. The Texas quarterback, Ewers, was hit by a defensive lineman for Ohio State, who then picked the ball up and ran all the way. Closed out the game. And the irony of ironies, Ewers used to be the roommate of the kid who hit him and picked up the ball back at Ohio State. Ewers was at Ohio State. Anyway, next year it'll be Arch Manning for the Texas Longhorns. And look who they play on August 30th, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Is that right?
Well, Texas will get a chance to have a revenge game early. Anyway, I think Ohio State is a lock. As much of a lock could
on
be.
Monday the 20th in Atlanta when they have the championship round.
Yeah, Ohio State's playing great. Ryan Day and his Buckeyes will be in Champaign in this coming October when I think the national champions. I don't think Notre Dame can beat Ohio State, folks. I mean, Ohio State is loaded. And they're playing well, and the Michigan game refocused them.
And we're hearing Melvin Priestley's coming back. Front tackle, 18-22 that were involved in the Citrus Bowl are returning.
Yeah, that's exciting. We should be really, really good. We're excited about that. Fighting Illini football coming up in August
Pivoting
this year.
Now to the AFC, we had Houston over the Chargers 32-12. Baltimore over Pittsburgh 28-14. Buffalo beat the Denver Broncos 31-7. Philadelphia over the Packers 22-10. Washington beat Tampa Bay 23-20.
It was the only really good game was Washington and
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, and Washington won on the road. I think tonight in Arizona because they can't play in LA. The Rams,
Vikings and Rams.
Yeah, Rams should be hosting Los Angeles. They can't because of the fires. So they'll be in Arizona. How many people will go to that game? They all drive from LA. They come from Minnesota. It's a big stadium to fill.
I mean, it is an important game, though.
Yeah, but are you going to pay $800 a plane ticket to fly to Arizona on no notice?
I mean, not me. But some diehard fan might do that.
They'll just have to be regional fans that like one of the particular teams, I think.
Absolutely.
I think Minnesota should win, but I don't know.
I'm sitting there looking at my watch and saying, how are the snacks and what's the weather like and all of that. And by the way, I'm starting to get invites to the Super Bowl parties that are coming up on February 9th. That is going to creep up on us.
Yeah.
The Australian Open, we got a picture from a friend that's there and supporting our former Illini, Alexander Vukic, ended up winning. Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz. Anyway, has progressed in these first round challenges. So the Australian Open in progress now.
All right, 10 till. We'll check Greg's weather coming up next.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Oh, who did the Chicago Bears hire? They got Mike Rabel, former linebacker for the New England Patriots, to take over the Patriot job. That's the first NFL coaching job and probably the best guy available, Mike Rabel, who was the Tennessee Titan coach for so many years and, of course, a three-time player for the New England Patriots, three-time Super Bowl winner there. So Bob Kraft got his guy. Probably should have hired him a year ago, but that's the new head coach of the New England Patriots. But who did the Bears get? The Bears need a good one. And I don't know. They're talking about Marcus Freeman, the Notre Dame coach. I don't know if you elevate him to the Bears.
There was something on social media about Brett Brilma, and, people are just putting that out there just to get more hits, I'm sure.
There's probably some NFL guys, but I don't know. Bears need a guy. Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, he's not available to talk to you right now. And hopefully, as far as the Lions are concerned, he won't be till after February 9, but we will see. But the Chicago Bears, who now live on Q96.1, we carry the radio broadcast. We have a vested interest in having the Bears be good, because when you air them, they need to be good. All right, speaking of, come on.
And Cardinal Caravan is coming, and it's Hilton Garden Inn, 1501 South Neal Street. The program starts at noon. Of course, we'll have opportunity to get some raffle tickets and get some prizes after the program wraps up. And we do give priority on the autographs to the kids 12 and under. In case you'd like to be a part of things, you can show up after 11 when the doors open. I need to get that media invite out there, Stevie. I've got all these lists of things I need to do today after you being out last week. Kind of took my focus off of the Cardinal Caravan.
Thank you for all you did.
I'm excited about Ricky Horton being here, and Mike Claiborne is always welcome. We love having him on the radio.
Yep, and I think we have some young players that are coming in to introduce themselves. So I know Michael Ciani will be one of them. I think Pedro Pajes, who's the backup catcher for Ivan Herrera, who will now be your starting catcher now. I don't think Wilson Contreras is going to catch anymore. I think they got him targeted for first base, where Paul Goldschmidt left. And he'll be a Yankee now. Paul Goldschmidt signed with New York for a year. And then they're trying to trade Nolan Arenado, but no takers yet.
I see.
Because I think he makes $35 million a year, and so the other teams are going, you have to pay part of that, and I'm going to take him.
I see.
So there's all that going on. So we'll see. We got hope for the Cardinals. I think their pitching staff will be kind of average age 33. It's older. And then the starting lineup for the Cardinals could be an average age of 25 or 6. Man. Really young. So I don't know. I know there are a lot of disappointed Cardinal fans that the Cardinals haven't been more active trying to give them a little more hope in a Central Division that appears winnable. But I think the Cardinals are kind of going with what they got and grooming the young guys. And goodbye to John Mozeliak. This is his last year. And Chaim Bloom is a new man in charge for the Cardinals. And the Cardinals have been kind to invite me to do opening day broadcasts. And if I get invited again, I'll be there. And that's fun to be there. But they work so hard inside on all of their stuff. The promotions are just, the stuff they give away has been fabulous, but people aren't coming for the stuff. They're coming because they might win. And if they're not going to win, their attendance, which has been one of the strongest for a small market, St. Louis considered a small market, their attendance has been like 3.5 million, which I think the maximum you can get is like 3.8. So they've been amazing, but I know they had a drop-off in attendance last year, and Cardinal fans were spoiled and expect excellence and expect October to be playoff baseball. But that kind of that feeling went away after, Yachty and Waino and some of the guys that held that tradition saying, we think about playoffs in October, period. There's no discussion. We're going to playoffs. Mm-hmm. And they had that kind of, tunnel vision. So we'll see what the Cardinals can do, kind of a new leadership here.
Cardinal Caravan, again, starts at noon. Hilton Garden Inn is the location, 1501 South Neal Street at Neal and Kirby. So we hope to see you after 11, getting yourself set and ready to go. Totally free event. Might be some of the conversation between Lonte and Derek Piper, and I think Jay Lehman, too, on tonight's event at Long Branch Steakhouse.
Yeah, remember they said if we win 10, we'll treat some of our listeners.
Yep.
That's pay down time. Payback time.
That's right. We had so many people chiming in with their emails, and Lonte reached out to them, so it's all lined up. Some of the guys that won said, can I bring my wife? Lon said no.
Well, I mean,
this is just for the listener.
It's just the listener, and they don't have the plus ones here, and so they're going up to
a little bit of a bill to pay.
Well, they do, but you know what? If you think about it, to say, hey, if we win 10, Jay and I will spend $500 at the Lon said.
Exactly.
And so 500, I think Jay said it. And then Lon said, okay, good.
Okay.
Well, because, in 120 years of Illinois football, this has happened 5 times.
Absolutely.
Your odds are pretty good.
Why not celebrate?
Well, that's fine until you got to pay. And then it's like, well, it sucks. I know. Yeah, watch what you say.
Long Branch Steakhouse, 310 South Main Street. In fact, head to GoStever.com. That's our offer today.
We have a $50 bill we're giving away if you want to go try the food at Long Branch. Mm-hmm. You're welcome to give it a try. You'll get an email after 8 tonight, but at GoStever.com, $50 to Long Branch. They're open Wednesday through Saturday. Not tonight, just because it's a special gathering. That's why Donnie's doing that.
That's right.
So Wednesday through Saturday, they're open 5 to 9. And enjoy. I'm giving out $50 bills. Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown Gifford.
Little chilly. Temperatures currently at 11.
Check with Greg's forecast here coming up in the next hour. Also, Griff Jenkins joined me right out of the gate at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. I'll play a clip from that interview that he gave us live from Pacific Palisades, site of one of the devastations of the greater Los Angeles area. That'll be coming up. All right, 7:58. It's ESPN 93.5.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Holiday hangover got you feeling weighted down. We're not talking candy, pie, and eggnog-induced pounds. We're talking about the clutter chaos. Old furniture, tank of lights, and junk galore. Time to detox your space with 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Ditch the junk and start fresh. Head to 2menjt.com and schedule your junk removal today. Use code NEWYEAR25 and score $25 off your next junk removal. Offer valid at 2 Men in a Junk Truck, Champaign, Illinois.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hi, this is Troy Lands from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With colder temperatures here, let's make sure your heating system is operating at its best. At Lands, you can join our comfort family and get exclusive savings and support to keep your heating system in tip-top shape this winter and all year round. Our plans offer tune-ups, discounts on repair, and even lifetime system enhancements. Plus, we back up our equipment with labor warranty when we install it. Find out more about our comfort family maintenance plans at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
More homes could burn down in the Los Angeles area. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's real. We didn't think this could ever happen to us.
Vicki Collison lost everything. Tells Fox for all the others in wildfire danger.
Have the boxes with the evacuation items like pictures and family heirlooms.
And this is not what LA needs.
We have wind gusts in excess of 50, even 70 miles per hour coming later this afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow. That's going to be a huge concern.
Fox meteorologist Anna Steen, wind could whip up the flames and spread 3 wildfires, still burning even more. 2 of them are barely contained.
The death toll at least 24. Tragically, that's expected to rise, but here along Malibu, you can see structure after structure, homes, businesses for miles of the iconic Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu simply gone. Nothing but a charred, burned out, destroyed landscape.
There's progress reported in talks trying to work out a ceasefire in Gaza between Israel and Hamas. President Biden talked to Israel's prime minister yesterday. He also talked to the relatives of 3 Americans detained in Afghanistan who might be freed in a prisoner swap being negotiated with the Taliban, though she's more encouraged by what the incoming Trump national security advisor told her than her brief call with President Biden.
I absolutely believe they will bring Ryan home.
Anna Corbett's husband's been held by the Taliban for 886 days, and she tells Fox
His conditions are not livable. He is physically declining. He told me on a call that I would not recognize him.
The deal would swap Corbett and 2 others for a terror suspect the U.S. has imprisoned at Guantanamo. 3 police officers shot early this morning in Washington, D.C.
Thankfully, all of our officers are in stable condition. They're talking, and we're so grateful that they survived this.
D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith. The same cannot be said for the gunman who opened fire on them. The officer shot back, and he's dead. America's listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Ukraine has some new bargaining chips as it keeps waging war against Russia and the thousands of North Korean soldiers helping Russia in that fight.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's willing to return the soldiers to North Korea if he gets Ukrainian prisoners of war in return. Posting on X, President Zelensky added there may be other options for the captive North Koreans. His government's indicated at least one of them would rather stay in Ukraine than return home. South Korea's spy agencies helping Ukraine question the 2 prisoners. It believes about 300 North Koreans have died fighting for Russia so far and thinks they're struggling to adapt to elements of modern warfare. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A failure to launch just after midnight.
A technical problem with Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket forced the space company to scrub the launch it planned for early this morning at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It was to be the first flight of the new rocket. The company's heavy lift vehicle. It intends to compete with SpaceX's Falcon Heavy. The first New Glenn flight is a proving flight, hoping to win a coveted national security certification. The company has yet to say when it will next attempt to launch. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down, so Friday's sell-off may extend into this week. In the NFL playoffs, a dramatic Sunday night ending.
The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They fight their way to the divisional round!
That field goal gave Washington a 23-20 win over Tampa Bay on NBC, the Commanders' first playoff win in 19 years. Earlier, the Philadelphia Eagles advanced, beating Green Bay 22-10. The Buffalo Bills moved on, topping Denver 31-7. Tonight, in a wild card game moved out of Los Angeles by the wildfires, the LA Rams will play the Minnesota Vikings in Arizona. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Soon, a bill that would take guns out of the hands of accused domestic abusers in Illinois. The State House passed Karina's bill this week, sending the measure to the governor's desk. The measure would require law enforcement to confiscate guns within 96 hours from people who have an order of protection granted against them. The law is named after Karina Gonzalez. The Chicago woman and her teen daughter shot and killed by her husband in 2023. Michael Madigan attempting to clear his name by taking the stand at his racketeering trial. During his second day of testimony, the former Illinois House Speaker distanced himself from co-defendant Michael McLean and former Chicago Alderman Danny Solis, who secretly recorded Madigan for the FBI. Illinois lawmakers beginning a new 2-year term. A new Illinois General Assembly sworn into separate ceremonies for the House and Senate. The inauguration ceremonies follow a tension-filled lame duck session, which saw the governor clash with members of his own party. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. It is 8:06, ESPN 93.5. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, the learned one. And I break down winter in pretty simple stages. I get through December and January. February is short. March is... Yeah. Anyway, I noticed this morning...
March 1 begins meteorological spring, March 1st.
There you
so
go.
That's,
it's not that many
psychological
days, man. Yeah.
assistance.
That's like 18 and 28, 46 days, man. That's not far. That's not, and I noticed this morning, it was lighter. At whatever time I was upstairs, I said, it's a little lighter. So there.
Yeah. Have the office, weather office windows open to the east, and there's a little glare on my monitors.
Come on, man.
Man alive.
All right. God is amazing the way he tilts the earth. Come on.
Amen.
How in the world?
23 and a half degrees, by the way, is the winning answer on the quiz.
Tilt of the earth. How much? That's a lot of tilt, man. And you're going 1,200 miles an hour around the earth. 1,200 miles.
That's why you go from, 100-degree heat to 20 below.
Yeah,
some areas of the heavens there.
Fabulous full moon this morning. Boy, it's glorious.
And when Elon's talking about Mars, it's a little nippy this time of year in Mars, man. I don't know how that's going to work. It's too cold, man. There's no air.
Yeah, it's even more extreme on and there's an atmosphere, but not like the one we have here.
Let's go to Fairbanks,
You're
Alaska.
You're still able to grow potatoes there on Mars, though.
Well, that's because the movie Matt Damon, he grew a potato. So I'm all in on that.
Exactly.
No, it's crazy. Who'd want to move to Duluth or Fairbanks, Alaska, times 1,000,000 for Mars?
Right.
Come on.
Yep.
I think that's a little too chilly for my liking.
That's a long trip too, I believe, to Mars.
Well, I think they're going to figure that as normally a year and a half,
right?
In the big jet, but I think they'll figure that out. Be some sort of thing.
Okay.
Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, 217-352-0428. And Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, enduring some of this January temperatures as usual. Sir, what you seeing?
Yeah, we've got some pretty good swings we've played out over the past weekend, from 30s yesterday to a struggle on temps today, and for the next couple, a little more snow back in the forecast as well. And each time we bring these disturbances, we kind of arch the jet stream up through the Canadian Rockies, drop it down along the divide, buckle it across the West Texas and Rio Grande Cattle Country. That puts high pressure over Salt Lake City. The clockwise flow around the high, and sometimes lows get spun up in that same setup over Western Texas. And so you get a combination of east-northeasterly winds, downslip off the Santa Ana condition and slopes. And the end result, this condition continues on, ebbing and flowing a little bit in the short term, but probably intensifies later later on this week. So by no means are they done out there making any significant progress. I hope they do, inroads and all that, but it's still going to be a pretty tough situation. And this is a trademark of one of these La Nina winter weather patterns across the west. Little, if any, organized moisture in the southwest. Meanwhile, 9 now at Willard and Savoy, 10 at Rantoul. Later on today, best we can muster up for you, will be an afternoon high across the area that reaches about 17, 18, 19 degrees, somewhere in that upper teen degree range with sunshine, gusty west wind. Clouds increase tonight, 9 inches of snow tomorrow morning, that icy crystalline stuff, so there may be some slipping and sliding tomorrow morning. Partly sunny in the afternoon, 19 and dropping on a west-northwest wind. 0 to 5 below tomorrow night, up to 17, a cold but sun-filled Wednesday. Back into the 30s for Thursday and Friday, maybe a snowflake on Thursday, a little rain late Friday, a little snow over the rain for Saturday and Sunday. We'll have to keep an eye on that weather system. Weekend high temperatures from about 30 and dropping Saturday, only in the teens again, and we'll get close to 0 for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. For Steve J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Short-lived. We can handle it. No worries. 0 this coming beginning of next week. All right. Well, the Cheez-It Championship Trophy was at State Farm Center on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
They were showing off the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl Trophy.
And a bunch of oranges there next to it.
Well, there's real Cheez-It in there, isn't it? Looks like real Cheez-It. Do you put a penny in and get Cheez-It coming out? Or,
cool.
They dispense that. Yeah, I did not go to the game. I was hanging low, trying not to give the flu to anybody else. But they did not bring it out during the game.
I got texts of thank yous for people who got tickets. I just sorry we didn't win because it can be a really lit atmosphere at the State Farm Center when we win. But.
It was just one of those things, man, and you just move on. I don't think I need to see any video of it. I know they'll teach people why this happened. We just didn't have the stuff that we normally have, the energy, the step. We looked a step slow.
I feel like Coach Underwood also said we were banging the basketball and banging the nails into the board.
Too much dribbling
going on.
Yeah, there was a lot wrong with that game. Anyway, it didn't happen. Next, move on. USC had been kind of flirting with beating somebody. They got a really good coach at Eric Musselman.
The
guy that beat us when he was at Arkansas. And for some reason, he left Arkansas and went to USC basketball. And he has some good players who just played out of their brains. They had one guy that had made 6 3-point baskets in his entire career and made 2 or 3 against me. So that kind of stuff happens when you get upset. Stuff that, no way, he can't even hit the backboard. He makes a bunch of threes. What's that? It just happens. That's how it works.
Yep.
I mean, sports is a humbling endeavor. Just when you think you're pretty good, you get kind of humbled back to earth and everything else. So the guys will play well and go get Indiana tomorrow night.
Yes,
6 o'clock. Yeah.
So people will be heading over in case you're going to Bloomington, Indiana, and getting, maybe a late lunch or.
How are you getting in? You can't get tickets to that place.
Oh, really?
You can't get Indiana tickets.
I mean, I know people.
Well, Stubb. His name is Stubb Hub. You can look up what Stubb's got because you can always buy a ticket, but Hoosiers, Illinois, there's no.
Behind the scenes, the guys were thinking about having the drive over there and having a place for Illini fans to go and high-five them during the live broadcast just before because it works out nice after 3.
Don't think there'll be a great Illinois contingency. You can't get in.
Okay.
Diane, Indiana's one of the tough places to get it.
Goody's there.
He's our buddy. I could text Luke right now.
Okay, let's have him on the show tomorrow.
I told you. I told you because we had a deal with Luke Goody. Let me read the last text I sent to Luke Goody.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Okay.
How are the striped pants looking?
No, it's trash talk now. Okay, Luke Goody. He was on for 2 years with us, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I said, Luke, this is Stevie J. I wanted to thank you for being on our radio for a couple of years. We had an NIL deal with him. You did a great job. I wish you nothing but success at Indiana. You'll be great. Oh, by the way, I was really close and thinking about paying you $100,000 per show next year. He wrote, ha. He said, ha. Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to work with you.
Okay, there you go.
Well, too bad. $100,000.
$100,000.
Lookster.
Sorry, went to Bloomington.
His uncle was the quarterback for the Hoosiers for years.
Right.
Trent Green, and then he played in the NFL. So, I mean, it's not shocking.
Yeah,
and he,
I get
by the
it.
way, very, very good player for them. So this is the only game of the year we play Indiana. Tomorrow night, we don't get them here. So, and they're going to be chomping at the bit because they can improve their net standing by beating us. And the same for Michigan State. You get in the Big Ten, and there's not a lot of ways to improve your net. The best, greatest chance we have left in the season will be playing Duke in Madison Square Garden in February.
Indiana looking for their 4th straight win.
Well, they're
road win.
They're home. They're at home. So 4th straight win, maybe. They've been playing pretty well, and we're good. And if Kaspers doesn't play, I think it'll be tough to win.
So we're 12-4. They're 13-4. Both 4-2 in the Big Ten.
Yeah. All right, let's check your sports headlines. The rest of it tomorrow night at Indiana at 6 o'clock Central Time. We take on those Hoosiers, and it'll be lit up. Did you find StubHub? I can look it up too.
I didn't.
We'll
I was
find how much a
looking at
ticket is.
Kaspars Yakachonis, and they have some statistics about him in this article, but will he play? And how much has this person researched what's really going on here for our number 13 Illinois basketball team after USC won 82-72 yesterday, and tomorrow Indiana at 6 o'clock. Ben Humrickhouse led the team with 15. Number 15, Oregon over Penn State 82-81 in a tight one. Number 20, Purdue over Nebraska 104-68. Michigan State at number 16 taking down Northwestern's Wildcats 78-68. Number 24, Michigan over Washington 91-75. We had Parkland winning their games 80-64, and then the women won 78-62. Both playing John Wooden Community College, and Parkland men are 15-2 on the season. We'll probably have comments from Jay Lehman. I know his son has a basketball game later, so he might just be calling in. But that college football playoffs have been fun to watch. Now, Monday, the 20th in Atlanta, it'll be Notre Dame taking on Ohio State. Most people are feeling like the Buckeyes are going to come out on top. Don't you think, Steve?
Yeah, I do. I think Ohio State's loaded, and I think they're on a mission after they lost to Michigan and refocused.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ryan Day should go win the national championship, get in there and say, hey, Buckeyes, and drop the mic and walk out.
Wild card playoff action going on for the AFC and NFC. Tonight, it's the Minnesota Vikings and LA Rams in Arizona due to those fires in Southern California. We had Sacramento over the Chicago Bulls, 124-119. New York over Milwaukee, 140-106. Indiana Pacers over Cleveland, 108-93 in basketball action. We've got your Cardinal Caravan at noon on Friday. A totally free event at the Hilton Garden Inn this year, 1501 South Neal Street at Neal and Kirby in Champaign. Come on by. Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne are people that I'm going to high five out of the gate. We'll be selling some raffle tickets for charity. You know, it's one for $1, 6 for $5, whatever for 10, the wingspan, all of that. And it's fun to be in the running to win a lot of these prizes that they bring in. The Cardinal calendars and the schedule and tickets to games and jerseys. So just fun to be a fan. Yeah. The kids 12 and under can get those autographs first as we hand out these little business card size cards that have a number on them. And then we bring you up in groups, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, blah, blah, blah. So be there at noon. Doors open at 11. Hilton Garden Inn Friday.
Not the I-Hotel.
Right.
Hilton Garden Inn.
Yes.
Okay, it's 8:18 weather in a second. I was wrong, Diane. You can buy a ticket tomorrow night.
I thought so, too.
What's going on over in Hoosier Land? $12 each?
Oh, really?
Way up there, but still. If you're real steep, I understand. If you want to go to a ball game, you're kind of climbing high and you're like afraid you're going to fall kind of feel.
Right.
Anyway, it's available. I see them on SeatGeek. You want to go over to Hoosiers?
There you go.
Let's go.
Get your orange and blue on.
Yeah.
Clashes with the red. It's always a fun time.
I'm sure the Hoosier fans won't give you any grief for wearing orange. Weather brought to you this morning by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. Our meteorologist is Greg Soye with the latest weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Nice to have those temperatures pop into the 30s for a time yesterday. Back into increasingly cold weather for this week. Into the weekend, much of next week as well, and probably a cold wave weather pattern shaping up for parts of the Corn Belt and some increasing snowfall as well. In the meantime, quiet but cold days worth of weather. Brisk westerly wind, high around 18 with sunshine. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, lows near 9. Diminishing west wind. Tomorrow turns even colder in the afternoon, around 19 with a partly sunny sky and dropping, but the morning has some snow showers and flurries up to an inch of accumulation and probably some slippery travel. Turns fair tomorrow night and bitter cold, lows 0 to 5 below, mostly sunny cold at 17 on Wednesday. We pop into the 30s Thursday and Friday. A few flurries on Thursday, little rain late Friday, some rain and snow Saturday morning, snow in the afternoon. Temperature up around 30 and dropping. Then cold weather for the Sunday and Monday time frame. A couple of snow showers and flurries, highs only in the teens. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Peter Rochas, Greg Solgay.
Illinois basketball season is underway. Single game tickets to see your Fighting Illini at State Farm Center are on sale now at fightingillini.com. Great seats are still available. Lock in your tickets for big games against Big Ten opponents before they're gone. Don't miss your chance to see the winningest team in the Big Ten Conference over the last 5 years. Be part of the atmosphere and get tickets at fightingillini.com.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Allstate and Travelers shares are both down more than 1%. JP Morgan analysts have estimated insured losses for the Los Angeles fires topping $20 billion or even more if the fires are not controlled. Though Barron's Magazine says severe weather could actually help insurance companies by allowing them to raise premiums. And analysts at Jefferies say most insurers have taken steps to de-risk from California in recent years. Johnson & Johnson is buying biotech company Intracellular Therapies, which has a treatment for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. The deal's worth about $14.6 billion. And also Bausch & Lomb is buying Whitecap Biosciences, a company developing treatments for eye diseases. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, planning for retirement can seem overwhelming. Social Security may not provide enough income for your retirement years, and few employers today offer a traditional company pension plan that guarantees you a specific income at retirement. Thankfully, with many tools and resources to choose from, retirement planning is easier than ever. Get started with these tips from Busey Wealth Management. Determine what you're going to need. Calculate the gap. Figure out how much you need and save, and then build your retirement fund. Map out a savings plan that you put in action. It's never too early to start. Understand your investment options. The professionals like the team at Busey Wealth Management can assist you in selecting investments that are appropriate for your goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Busey Wealth Management skilled professionals can help you understand your retirement income needs, investment options, and savings tools, setting you up to reach and maintain your long-term financial goals. You can call them at 800-67-BUSEY or go to busey.com/wealth management to set up an appointment today. Investment products and services not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC? All right, 8:23 to start our show this morning. We called our buddy Griff Jenkins.
Fox News live in Southern California with all the fires.
The destruction just literally looked like a bomb went off. And it is, the California natives that you talk to here, the firefighters, the residents all say, we're used to fires. They joke on the West Coast, they have two seasons, the fires and the mudslides. But they've never seen, many of them in their lifetimes, this kind of destruction so widespread and so dangerous with these winds. The fire captain I was interviewing yesterday said these 100-mile-an-hour winds, they haven't seen them since 2011. And even in 2011, it was more of a wind event with downed trees and downed poles and that sort of stuff, and it didn't come with the fires that they're seeing now. And then, the craziest part about it, CVJ, is that they're under this red flag warning from the National Weather Service for the particularly dangerous situation. They call it the PDS. And that is the National Weather Service's highest possible alert intended to invoke the highest level of urgency among the population, because they're expecting some 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds, upwards of 70-mile-an-hour plus gusts in the next 48 hours through Wednesday night, and it's mixed with relatively low humidity from 8% to 15% in some areas. And when you have that combination of dry air, low humidity mixed with high winds with widespread embers all over the place, as we've been reporting on, you're looking literally at a recipe for disaster. The fire captain telling me, look, if one little ember picks up in those kind of winds, it can blow 1-2 miles down the way and pick up some brush that hasn't yet been affected, and that has a 65% chance of igniting. And so they're really bracing here. They're on high alert, and you've got crews, firefighters working around the clock 24/7 trying to contain as much as they can. Meanwhile, that Palisade fire, that's the big one that burned so much of Pacific Palisades in Malibu, that's only 13% contained. It's already destroyed 23,000 plus acres.
They have 24 dead as of this morning.
Right.
And they're putting forensics and dogs, and they're like Jane and John Doe. They don't know who they are.
Right.
And that's just got to be the worst.
Right.
And then Griffin also sent me a video of Farrah Fawcett. Anybody remember Farrah Fawcett Majors?
Sure.
At
Charlie's
the time,
Angels.
She was married to Lee Majors for a while. And then
Yes, she was
Ryan,
the Bionic Man.
Was Ryan...
Reynolds? No. That's today.
O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal.
Right.
It's Tatum O'Neal.
That's right.
Ryan O'Neal.
Yes.
Ryan O'Neal and Farrah
Thank you for
Fawcett were
that.
married, and their house burned down.
Mm-hmm.
And showed me the eerie video of that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at that point, it's like, well, this house, everybody's house is burning down. So it's a great equalizer. They're all in the same boat. Some might have insurance, some might not have insurance. Some may be able to rebuild where they are. Sometimes, cities do like a grandfather, but if something happens, they won't let you build it again. So that'd be a lot of, a lot of these homes are tens of millions of dollars, right?
I know that.
So the tax dollars you're losing the money, the revenue. If you're not charging somebody, $3 million in property tax, that's $3 million your budget goes away because you're not allowing them to build a house. And then how quickly can they conceivably rebuild? If you're presumably a big star that has a lot of money, you could probably rebuild. But how about the frustration of getting the permits and allowing you to build? Because, again, there's a lot of reason you wouldn't have a lot of faith in a real blue government. Democratic governments, tell me one that works great, please. I'm really like to know. It's just more cumbersome, more regulations, more red tape, less efficiency. They're just not, I'm sorry, I don't think they're great at running stuff. If you look at all our major cities in the United States, how good is Chicago being run right now? How about Los Angeles? How about New York City? Right. Yeah. Cite me a wonderfully run Democratic city, please. 217-359-2255 if you want to jump on the Fisher National Bank text line. Diane Ducey, thank you for all your
morning.
work last week.
I'm glad you're healthy and back at it, Stevie.
And I am too, and looking forward to the Cardinal Caravan. 11 a.m. is when we open the door this Friday. Hilton Garden Inn, that's Kirby and Neal.
Yes.
And plenty of parking. If you want to get there and be in the front row, then you want to probably go at 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then the media we're welcoming at 11:30. And they'll get a chance to interview the guys that we have coming in. Some you've heard of, some you have not. And you get to talk to some baseball players, which is pretty cool. And then before we know it, the people are reporting to spring training in like 3 weeks.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
How about your son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, for the Reds?
He is going. He's been invited again to the Reds Caravan. So he'll be on several city tour with Cincinnati and try and go over to one of them. And he'll be with their new manager. Their new manager, Terry Francona, will be going out 3 times, and that'll be Jacob's group, which is kind of cool. So he'll get to know the new manager maybe a little bit. Anyway, he's happy because Terry will get all the questions. I said, you're great at answering questions. But anyway, Tito Francona, World Series champion twice, is the new manager of the Cincinnati Reds this year. So, yeah, Jacob will go out, but he reports, I don't know, February 9? Going out to Goodyear, Arizona. Crazy. Unbelievable.
That's in less than a month.
Yeah, I know. Baseball is here. And we start the baseball season now, late March now.
Right.
I don't know when the Cardinals will open their season. I think they start on the road this year,
Well,
maybe?
and after the caravan, they hand out all these little pocket schedules, so we'll be on board then, but nothing's at my fingertips right now.
All right, we'll be right back. The news will be coming up next. Glad you're listening on Monday, January 13. Plenty cold in Central Illinois. We'll be right back. It's coming up on 8:30.
We would like to invite you to the St. Joseph Ogden FFA auction February 1st at the St. Joseph Ogden High School. Dinner and silent auction begins at 5, followed by a live auction at 6. There are no tickets needed to attend, and anyone is welcome.
Items to be auctioned off include fire pits, solo stove, various Milwaukee tools, store lock welding table, various silent auction baskets and gift certificates from local businesses.
You can learn more about our auction at our Facebook page, St. Joseph Ogden FFA.
Jet's Pizza is offering a special deal when you spend $25. Just use promo code 5ADD. That's the number 5ADD and specify Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks for only $5. Combine that with their current $5 off pizza promos and you can cheer on the Illini while enjoying hot pizza with your favorite Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks. What a deal. You spend $25, enter 5ADD for Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks for just $5. Jet's, better because it has to be.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Winds whipping back up in Southern California could undo firefighters' progress and cause the historic wildfires there to spread even more. At least 24 people are dead.
Cadaver dogs continue to search neighborhoods leveled by the fires, and Los Angeles County officials have established a center where people can report the missing. They're also building an online database to allow evacuees to see if their homes were damaged or destroyed.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky offers to swap 2 North Korean soldiers captured fighting for Russia for Ukrainian prisoners of war.
His government's indicated at least one of them would rather stay in Ukraine than return home. South Korea's spy agencies helping Ukraine question the 2 prisoners. It believes about 300 North Koreans have died fighting for Russia so far.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Michael Madigan attempting to clear his name by taking the stand at his racketeering trial. During his second day of testimony, the former Illinois House Speaker distanced himself from co-defendant Michael McLean and former Chicago Alderman Danny Solis, who secretly recorded Madigan for the FBI. Illinois lawmakers beginning a new 2-year term. A new Illinois General Assembly sworn into separate ceremonies for the House and Senate. The inauguration ceremonies follow a tension-filled lame duck session, which saw the governor clash with members of his own party. Soon a bill that would take guns out of the hands of accused domestic abusers in Illinois. The State House passed Karina's bill this week, sending the measure to the governor's desk. The measure would require law enforcement to confiscate guns within 96 hours from people who have an order of protection granted against them. The law is named after Karina Gonzalez, the Chicago woman and her teen daughter shot and killed by her husband in 2023. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you, Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and Vicinity. Nice respite in the cold yesterday, but plenty of cold building, ebbing and flowing for this week. And it's a cold wave weather pattern shaping up over the back end of the weekend, much of next week, too. Mostly sunny, sharply colder for the day today with a brisk west wind, high around 18. That west wind at 12 to 20 and gusty. Increasing clouds tonight, colder at 9. Diminishing west wind tomorrow. The Clipper system brings some snow in the morning. Accumulations up to around an inch and probably some slippery travel. Then a partly sunny, cold afternoon afternoon, 19 and dropping to 0 to 5 below here for tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, cold for the day. Wednesday at 17. We'll bump up to 31 on Thursday with a couple of snow flurries. A little rain back in late Friday at 38. A little rain and snow Saturday morning. Snow in the afternoon. High temperature up around 30 and dropping. And colder weather with a couple of snow showers and flurries. High temperatures in the teens. Sunday and Monday overnight readings down into the single digits to near 0. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Peter Trist, Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. ESPN 93.5. We have a Stever. It is $50 to Long Branch Steakhouse for free. All you got to do is go to GoStever.com. You click. You get an email tonight after 8 if you're one of our winners, and then you'll go and enjoy $50 worth of something. Maybe it's a ribeye. I can't move off the ribeye.
I mean, filet mignon is something that my husband Mike always orders, and it's terrific. And
it's actually healthy, too.
Yep, and he gets a baked potato. I mean, it's really not too bad on the calories.
No, it's not bad. I just like the fat of the ribeye.
I had a shrimp cocktail before I started last time. That was off the charts. You remember St. Elmo's over in Indianapolis? They're known for their shrimp cocktail. Real similar.
Was it cold?
Yeah.
Tell you, if you get shrimp that's not cold, that's a bummer.
And the cocktail sauce, so good.
Hey, okay, so the Cardinal Caravan, we got Pedro Pajes. He's the backup catcher. Michael Ciani, who plays center field. Jose Furman, infielder. Ryan Lautos, pitcher. The alum is Xavier Scruggs. And then the announcers, Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne. Those are the big stars. So they'll be in Champaign, Peoria, Bloomington as they make our swing. And it'll be this Friday at noon at the Hilton Garden Inn. We had to move off the iHotel because they were booked with a massive conference. And the Cardinals called them in August. It was already booked. So we better call them here next week. Make sure we get. But the Hilton Garden Inn's a nice place, too.
It sure is.
So we're looking forward to being at Hilton Garden Inn on Friday at noon, 11 o'clock when the doors open. I expect to see a lot of Cardinal red and hope you come out and have some optimism because there's a lot of negativism about Cardinals right now. But
last time we were at Hilton Garden Inn, I feel like DeYoung from ISU had a lot of fans there. The Redbird fans came out for ISU and for Cardinals.
And the players are always so courteous and happy and honored to be there, and they get to come in their fancy schmancy bus, which I've been on. Yeah. Got a big old screens, and you forget their kids wanting to play video games.
I know, and it seems like you figured out some kind of cord that they needed to make that happen.
They paid me back. Went to somewhere and bought a $30 electronic something.
Right.
And then I walked on the bus and got an ovation.
Excellent.
One of their favorite guys.
He comes to save the day.
They could play a 4-man, whatever race car game that is, instead of 2-man.
Mario Kart or whatever.
Know. Might have been. But they just... a bunch of kids get real serious because now they got to talk to the media, but then they want to play the video game.
I know.
But the buses got the big screens.
And
very
they even
nice.
trash talk when it comes to the video
gaming.
Yeah,
it's competitive stuff. Oh, yeah.
So congratulations to the winners who are going to Long Branch tonight with Lonte and Derek Piper, Jay Lehman. Jay Lehman probably commenting on the college football playoffs and where we're at with all that. And, you know, most people, I think, are picking the Buckeyes at this point to beat Notre Dame.
You get to that game, you don't know. But I've watched Notre Dame a number of times. I think they're very good. I think their defense is excellent. But Buckeyes, you don't understand how many NFL players are playing on the Ohio State football team. They got, 10 NFL players at least. These are 5th and 4th year guys. This is an old Buckeye team. That's why you're supposed to beat Michigan by 40. And when they lost, not only did it ruin their season temporarily, but there's buzz of Ryan Day losing his job. The coach at Ohio State has won 44 of his last 45 games at Ohio State, minus the Michigan games, isn't good enough. So that's why I said I think he should win the game, drop the mic, said I'm leaving Ohio State. It's just time to go. And they're going to go, who? Now they like him. 4 weeks later, they like him because he's in the national championship. But believe me, there'll be people that want to fire Ryan Day if he doesn't win the national championship. So there's no winning that job. There's no winning when you're an Ohio State football coach and you lose to Michigan. There's nothing you can do. The only game that matters is that game. They really can't stand losing to each other. And Jim Harbaugh had lost 5 in a row to Ohio State when he coached at Michigan, and he had to take a pay cut. He took like a $3 million a year pay cut because he wasn't doing his job. But I'm winning every other game. No, you're not. You're losing to Ohio State. They can't. And you know what? It also brings into to probably focus that as much as we care about Illinois, we're not that. We don't, our happiness doesn't depend on our sports team, or it shouldn't. We got far bigger fish to fry. We love Illinois, but we're not fanatics. And maybe that's a bad thing. We'll go to the games when they're winning for sure. If you're not winning, probably won't go to the games as much. But we're not going to. Our happiness shouldn't depend on what your sports team does. We have some line of fans that depends on how Illinois does.
Sure.
Your week's ruined if you lose.
Right.
I've gotten over that.
Uh-huh.
I got other things in my life I got to work on, and I can't let that. I give myself that 1 hour.
One hour
after the ball game of being mad or sad or whatever, because I can't.
And isn't that your window when you reach out on social media about anything you're hot on and passionate about?
Don't really do that anymore. I think the worst decision ever is to be active on social media when you're emotional.
Yeah.
That's just, you can't take stuff back.
I know.
I've been there before, and I said, I know these guys. I'm not criticizing them.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not doing it.
Because this is just a blip in the whole time of your
yeah.
relationship spent together.
Yep.
So don't do it.
But Illinois, they're going to be some expectations, Brett. There's no question. This Illinois football team returning 18 of 22 starters off of a Citrus Bowl winner. You know, you're going to be expected to win 8 or 10. Oh. So I guess you'd rather have that than, gosh, I hope we go to a bowl.
Right.
I mean, we feel now maybe we've graduated past that thought.
Yeah.
And now maybe we can say, you know what? We ought to think about the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Are we bold enough, good enough, big enough now to say my goal is top 12 to get into the bowl championship series? Well, maybe. I think certainly you got a team that ought to win a lot of football games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that now. Now you're on the other side of that. Again, one of the greatest years ever is when you don't really think it. Nobody thought we were going to win 10. I mean, you might get to 6 or 7, get to a bowl. That'd be great. I didn't know if we'd get to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you go to 10. So now you've exceeded. Now there's euphoria. Now there's people buying tickets. Now, but you got to win.
Yeah, there's expectations.
Oh, yeah. You got those expectations. And, you know, the season starts with 2 of the first 3 pretty winnable. The second game we go to Duke. Duke's a bowl team. They were 9-4. I don't think that'd be easy. And then you got to go to Indiana. Start your Big Ten at Indiana. And they think they're the man now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, we got an Ohio State coming in. Yeah. And now they'll reload, as they say, with their $20 million and buy more players and stuff like that. They'll be good. But you know what I really, really, really don't look forward to Illinois, Ohio State next year? All the Buckeye fans that are getting tickets. We have got to hold that down. I mean, you can sell them and make money and all that stuff that people do, but you do not want, because if you allow 10,000 Ohio State, they'll come.
Yeah, I know.
They can't get tickets in Columbus. So they'll come, all these little dinky places around, they think of them as a dinky, I'm sure. And so they'll come here and buy up our tickets, and that's just annoying.
Okay.
So we do not want Ohio State to infiltrate our stadium. And I think, based on this year, I think that'll be a hard ticket to get. The Buckeyes will pay it too, so they'll go to StubHub and stuff and buy it, pay too much. But just don't let the clown. I'm already worried about that game in October. That's a ways away.
Right.
All right, 8:42.
Well, right now we have Bloomington in our sights.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 6 against Indiana.
And if Kasparis Yaka-Jonas is not available, then we got to play through it and see if we can get a win. If he is playing, I think it'll be a heck of a basketball game, and I think we'll have a chance.
How far of a drive is that?
3.5.
Okay.
Maybe less. It's a beautiful area, southern Indiana.
And just looking at some of the bars near where they play, Nick's English Hut came up, a Bloomington tradition since 1927, food, beer, classic hangout, watching IU sports. So, you know, it would have been fun to have Lonte and Derek Piper right before fans go into the place and watch the game tomorrow, and to have them live. I just didn't coordinate any of that last week, but... And, you know, always fun to go to Pia's 1609 West Springfield Avenue and catch the game and watch with fans there.
Well, I think we're a little more hesitant following the USC loss and hesitant from the standpoint of, gosh, I hope Kasparis plays. If he doesn't play, then we're a different basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you lose a kid that might go 5th in the NBA draft. Holy cow. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Wow.
So we need him healthy, man. We really do. All right, check your sports headlines coming up 8:43.
You mentioned lawnmowers. Can I buy a Dixie chopper in January?
Oh yeah, there's still a couple of great, gently used, well taken care of. One of them was actually Gail's mower from last year that he used, that he's got in. It's got a couple hundred hours on it. It's really an excellent machine. It's like new. You're not going to find a more well maintained.
I bet.
And of course, when he's wanting to get the most out of it, and he's not tearing it up. If something looks off on it, he's going to get it fixed, and we've maintained that and done well with it. So that's a great buy for somebody that's looking for a bigger, even a commercial guy, somebody that wants to get started in the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing to do right there. The warranty's still intact on it, so we're looking to move that. We've got a few new mowers in the shop and ready to go. Just talk to Andy at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. You can give him a call at 217-328-0562.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
All right, 15 before 9 a.m., ESPN 93.5 Sports Headline.
Thanks, Stevie. I'm Diane Ducey. NFL action is something we haven't touched on too much. Any surprises as you were watching the wild card playoffs? Had Houston over the LA Chargers 32-12.
One close game. One. That's it.
And that was
last
Washington
night. Yeah.
over Tampa Bay 23-20.
Everything else pretty much went like it should have, I guess. No real upsets. And
right.
I think Minnesota losing at Arizona against the LA Rams, who can't play because of the fires in LA, that would be a surprise. But LA's pretty good. Minnesota's had a wonderful year, and they darn near got the number one seed overall. They lost at Detroit in the final game of the year. We'll see. The Vikings certainly have been one of the great teams. Can Sam Darnold continue in the playoffs, or can't he? We'll see what happens tonight. But second round playoffs coming up. We were down to the final four for each NFC and AFC team. And the Super Bowl, Feb 9. Where's that game? Is that New Orleans?
It's in New Orleans,
wow,
right,
okay.
Because Mardi Gras is just a few weeks ahead of that. And, with the situation that happened during the holiday with New Orleans, it was just horrible. Yeah. And people were thinking twice, are we going to do all these big parties coming up?
Bourbon Street's Bourbon Street.
That's right.
Have more police presence, I guess.
Mm-hmm. NBA had Sacramento over the Bulls 124-119. New York over Milwaukee 140-106. Indiana's Pacers over Cleveland 108-93. Cardinal Caravan coming up at noon. Hilton Garden Inn, 1501 South Neal Street in Champaign. That's Friday. Doors open at 11. St. Louis Cardinal fans, we hope to see you and high five everybody. Of course, we've been talking about USC's win over number 13 Illinois over the weekend. 82-72 was the final. They'll play tomorrow at 6 in Bloomington, Indiana against the Hoosiers. With Luke Goody on the team. Sunday will be at Michigan State.
Two great road games. And crowds will be really, really good, obviously, in both of them. So we'll see. I would think Indiana might be favored tomorrow night on their home court. And I'm telling you, Michigan State has, Tom Izzo has it going on over there. They've got a pretty good team. And I don't think he's all about the transfer portal either. He just kind of has put it together in the Tom Izzo.
He is grumpy old man on the transfer portal.
Well,
I've seen him talk about that.
He's got a good basketball team. So do the Hoosiers. Hoosiers put together a heck of a transfer team. And, they won 4 in a row. So Illinois is going to try and snap that Hoosier winning streak tomorrow night.
Right.
All right, check your weather with Greg coming up.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Nice to have those temperatures pop into the 30s for a time yesterday. Back into increasingly cold weather for this week. Into the weekend, much of next week as well. And probably a cold wave weather pattern shaping up for parts of the Corn Belt and some increasing snowfall as well. In the meantime, quiet but cold days worth of weather. Brisk westerly wind, a high around 18 with sunshine. Tonight, increasing cloudiness, lows near 9. Diminishing west wind. Tomorrow turns even colder in the afternoon, around 19 with a partly sunny sky and dropping, but the morning has some snow showers and flurries up to an inch of accumulation and probably some slippery travel. Turns fair tomorrow night and bitter cold, lows 0 to 5 below. Mostly sunny cold at 17 on Wednesday. We pop into the 30s Thursday and Friday. A few flurries on Thursday, little rain late Friday, some rain and snow Saturday morning, snow in the afternoon. Temperature up around 30 and dropping. Then cold weather for the Sunday and Monday time frame. A couple of snow showers and flurries, highs only in the teens. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm Peter Rochas, Greg Solgay.
Crime is happening right now in our neighborhoods and across our communities, but you can help stop it with a donation to Champaign County Crime Stoppers. Your tax-deductible donation is an investment in a safer community for your family, your business, and the future we all deserve. Crime Stoppers has been fighting crime and assisting local law enforcement for nearly 4 decades, and we are funded through the generous support of those willing to stand up against crime. Join our ranks by visiting ChampaignCountyCrimeStoppers.org and donating today.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, 8:52. The boys this afternoon after 3 o'clock on the drive. And, we'll get ready for Illinois at Indiana tomorrow night at 6 Central Time. And then again, 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, Illinois at Michigan State. So 2 road games. And then back to home, State Farm Center next week. Cardinal Caravan again is Friday, 11 a.m. The doors open at the Hilton Garden Inn. That's right, at Neil and Kirby. Mm-hmm. If you would like to attend, it is free. And all kinds of fun with autographs for the kids that, of course, if you're with your child, you get to go with your kiddo. Uh-huh. But you get autograph cards that Diana will be handing out.
That's right. And actually, they have a 8x10 card that you can put signatures on in case you don't have an item to bring. That's fine, too.
people bring their own baseballs.
I know they do. And
know
baseball hats,
Yeah.
all kinds of Cardinal
A
stuff.
lot of the same people come because they're Cardinal fans. And even though they're not super happy about the St. Louis Cardinals, we will see. Anybody else want to see Yadier Molina be the manager at some point in there?
Yes, please.
I would like that.
Would that be one of the questions from the crowd? You usually navigate some Q&A for the panel.
I don't know. I just know that that's a high risk. You get Yachty as your manager, and then you got to fire Yachty. That isn't any fun. Green Bay Packers hired Bart Starr as their coach. They had to fire Bart Starr.
I see.
So sometimes you hire a star, it comes with a risk, and if you can deal with that.
Our Cardinal Caravan is a free event, but if you want to bring some raffle money, you'll be supporting a local charity and have access to some really cool prizes that the St. Louis Cardinal organization brings along.
So looking forward to all of that. We'll keep track of these horrific fires out in Los Angeles. The winds, if you have not heard, have picked up in the Santa Ana. It's 50-mile-an-hour gusts, which is just the worst case.
You can access Griff Jenkins' conversation with us from Fox News live from the LA fires as you go to steviejay.com, drop down on the podcast, and move the cursor to the time you want to hear.
I mean, you just if you go out there and you're Griff Jenkins covering the stories, I mean, you talk to the fire people, you get information you can, but where he was standing, there's just no life. It's just all burned down. And think about, if you're talking about 50,000 plus acres, 5 times the size of Central Park, all the cars that you got to tow, how many dump trucks first you have to go pile everything up, and I mean that's going to take a long time. Right. And then where are the people? Where are you going?
I know.
You have no home. Do you have your insurance papers? You know all the numbers to call? I don't know. Prayers with them. All right, Diane, we'll meet you tomorrow.
Enjoy the day.
All right, don't forget, it's Lontaine, Derek Piper this afternoon on The Drive. Briefly, also an appearance by Jay Lehman. Stand by after 3. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Thank you for listening. That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Monday.
Well, let's ask you about Gale Frericks Trucking. What's happening to start 2025, sir?
Well, it's been busy. Of course, we have the weather challenges, but we're getting through all of that. Our drivers have been safe, and they're all professionals. We go into this time of year, and it's a lot like college football. This is the year that things change a lot, and we had to make a couple of adjustments to make our team stronger. And, it's funny when you talk about those things, somebody knows that you're talking about him, so he made that decision easy. And then we had a guy enter the transfer portal, a good driver. He wanted something different, so he went to a team in Texas to work for us. So
well, you've got a good bunch of guys, and you treat them like family, and they're home on the weekends, and that's what's made you so successful, Tim, no question. Listen, thank you, Tim Onstott. You're the man. How can people connect with you?
They can get me at timo@gftlog.com. My office number is 765-793-7131.
The Urbana Park District Health and Wellness Center is open. Located at 2002 East Washington Street in Urbana next to the Brookins Center, the Health and Wellness Center has 2 full basketball gyms, pickleball courts, a walking track, weight and cardio rooms, a fitness classroom, and a meeting room. Buy an annual membership for unlimited access. For more information, call 217-255-8601 or visit urbanaparks.org. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
When you're looking for your next vehicle, be sure to stop at Sarah Champagne and listen to Merez.
Hi, I'm Merez Johnson Jr., power forward for the University of Illinois basketball team. The only place you should shop for your next vehicle is Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Buick GMC, and Subaru. Why? Because they treat you like family every time. Take it from me, Merez Johnson Jr. Sarah Champagne will be the last dealership you will ever work with.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.